Okay, so first of all, everybody knows this drug. This is adrenaline, and just to tell again, it is 1 ml contains 1 milligram, and it comes in the concentration of 1:1000. Nothing new about it. The same with noradrenaline. The volume that in each ampule is 2 ml, and it has around 1 ml contains 2 milligram of noradrenaline beta-atrate, which is equivalent to 1 milligram of noradrenaline. So practically speaking, each ampule of noradrenaline has 4 milligram of noradrenaline beta-atrate, which is equivalent to 2 milligram of which is equivalent to 2 milligram of noradrenaline. So each ampule practically contains 2 milligram of noradrenaline. Okay, then the other drug is vasopressin. Vasopressin comes in ampule again, and each ml contains 20 units. So to summarize, noradrenaline, the ampule is of 2 ml, and each ml contains 1 milligram of noradrenaline. For adrenaline, ampule is 1 ml, and each ml contains 1 mg or 1:1000. And vasopressin, each ml contains 20 units. Simple. Now, whenever we administer these drugs, the most important thing is how do you prepare these drugs. So there are a few calculations, and these calculations are very simple. I will just explain. Vasopressin for noradrenaline and adrenaline, the amount of drug that has to be added to make 50 ml volume. So we are giving drugs in 50 ml volume syringes. And how do we prepare? We just 0.03 is the multiplication factor, and into body weight. Body weight is suppose an adult male who has a weight of 70 kilogram. So this 70 into 0.03 will be 2.1 milligram. So if we will add this 2.1 milligram ml of noradrenaline, which is again roughly equal to 2 ml, into and make it 50 ml. So if with the infusion pump, we will run this 50 ml volume at the rate 1 ml per hour, the drug that will be delivered will be 0.01 microgram per kg body weight per minute. These adrenaline, they act on beta and alpha receptors, and mainly at higher dose, they have alpha action only. Their dose range is 0.01 to 0.4 microgram per kg body weight. So this is the dose, 0.01 to 0.4 microgram per kg body weight per minute. So whenever we talk about single strength, 0.03 into 70, that is 2.1 milligram. 2.1 milligram, which has been diluted in 50 ml of normal saline or dextrose 5%. Dextrose 5% is always preferred because it prevents the oxidation of the drug. So, and if we are running this drug at the rate 1 ml per hour via an infusion pump, the volume, the concentration of drug that will be delivered to the patient is 0.01 microgram per kg body weight per minute. So this is the starting or initiating dose of the noradrenaline or adrenaline. Similarly, now, if we reduce this multiplication factor and by 10 times, so we are multiplying 0.03 into body weight into 10. So instead of 0.03, it will be 0.3. So 0.3 into body weight, this amount, if we will make it 50 ml. So this is known as 10 strength or septic strength of noradrenaline and adrenaline. Now it's very, very easy. We have used a multiplication factor of 10. In this formula, there was no multiplication factor. It was single strength. Now we are multiplying with 10. So instead of 0.03, it has become 0.3. So again, when it was single strength, the 1 ml per hour was delivering 0.01 microgram per kg body weight per minute. Nothing else. We have just multiplied by 10. So now 1 ml per hour in 50 ml of dilution will be delivering 0.1 microgram per kg body weight per minute. So the amount of the concentration of drug that will be delivered to the patient is increased 10 folds. So if we are running it at 4 ml per hour, we'll almost achieving the maximum dose of noradrenaline, which is 0.01 to 0.4 microgram per kg body minute. So this is the way it has to be prepared. Very easy. Multiply the body weight by if you want to prepare single strength, 0.03 into body weight, and if the patient is in sepsis, along with that the blood pressure is falling, then you can again use a 10 strength. And with this 10 strength, you have to give a very small amount of volume to the patient, and it will give a very large concentration of noradrenaline or adrenaline to the patient. And dose range, as I've mentioned, it is this. Now vasopressin, each ampule we know contains 20 units. We add it to dextrose 5% and normal saline and make it 20 ml volume. Instead of making 50 ml here, we just use 20 ml so that the concentration is very easy. Is 1 ml contains 1 unit. So 20 ml drug is there, which includes the vasopressin 1 ml. So it will be 1 ml plus 90, that is 20 ml, and each ml per hour, if it is running, the amount of concentration of vasopressin that will be delivered to the patient will be 1 unit per hour. The dose range of vasopressin is 0.02 to 0.04 units per minute. And we can maximum go to 2.4, that is 2.4 units per hour. So these are the dose concentration of noradrenaline, and this is dose concentration of vasopressin. So this is these 3 drugs as recommended by the Surviving Sepsis Campaign for the COVID-19. These 2 drugs have been recommended. These 2 groups of drugs have been recommended for hypotension. Whenever the patient is having hypotension, we have to use these 2 drugs. And how do we have to use it? Now, the first line of drug we have to use is noradrenaline or norepinephrine, and we always have a target to have a mean arterial pressure of 65 millimeter of mercury. So we always, whenever the patient is having mean arterial pressure that's 65 or maybe 70 millimeter of mercury, we must think that patient needs either volume resuscitation or inotropic support. In COVID-19, we don't go for a liberal volume resuscitation, we go for a conservative volume resuscitation. And despite volume resuscitation, if we are unable to see the rise in blood pressure and patient hemodynamics is falling, then we can initiate this vasopressors and inotropes. Obviously, we have lots of markers of fluid responsiveness. We have dynamic parameters, static parameters. It is beyond the scope of this topic to discuss. Just you have to see, despite adequate volume resuscitation, seeing all the dynamic parameters, if the mean arterial pressure is below 65 or it is nearly 70 millimeter of mercury, we must initiate the inotropic therapy. And even if we are not unable to maintain the blood pressure hemodynamics with the help of norepinephrine, 65 millimeter of mercury blood pressure is not maintained, then we have to use the second line drug, which is the vasopressin, and we have to titrate both norepinephrine and vasopressin to achieve the adequate mean arterial pressure for the organ perfusion of the body. So we start with mean arterial pressure 65 millimeter of mercury not achieved with noradrenaline 10 strength 1 ml per hour. That means 1 ml per hour means 0.1 microgram 1 ml per hour. 10 strength we are using 0.1 microgram per kg body weight per minute. So we have started with the noradrenaline 10 strength 1 ml per hour. That means 0.1 microgram per kg body weight per minute. And even then, we are not unable to achieve a mean arterial pressure of 65 millimeter of mercury. Then it's the time to add vasopressin. And then again, we know how to make a vasopressin, and we start with initial low dose 0.02 units per minute, that is 1.2 ml per hour, and may increase up to 2.4 ml per hour, that is 0.04 units per minute. So it is very, vasopressin is very easy. 1 ml, 1 unit, 2.4 ml, you can easily achieve the maximum dose of the vasopressin. So we start with mean arterial pressure of 65 millimeter of mercury with noradrenaline unable to achieve, when even if despite the fact that we are giving 0.1 microgram per kg body weight per minute of noradrenaline, that is 1 ml per hour, we have to add, now it is the time to add vasopressin. Now practical tips is, we always prefer to administer all these inotropic and vasopressor drugs through a continuous IV infusion pump. But transiently, if crisis is there, they can definitely use our flow meters to start the therapy of inotropes and vasopressor. Never forget to label the drug and concentration of the drug, whatever we are using. Central line admission is always preferred, but again, if it is crisis, we can use a peripheral IV line for just transient period of time, because if extravasation of these drugs will occur, it will cause local ischemic necrosis. Never administered any alkalizing drugs with these drugs. So whenever you are giving an inotrope to any patient, you must have a dedicated IV line or a dedicated central line port for that particular inotropic drug, and never mix drugs, particularly the alkalizing drugs. And the most important point is, whenever we find a good amount of blood pressure is showing on the screen, avoid abrupt withdrawal of these drugs, because these drugs have a very short half-life. They have just half-life of 3 to 5 minutes only. And abrupt withdrawal will cause sudden hypotension, and again, the patient organ perfusion will suffer. So reduce infusion flow rate very slowly, and best is to titrate along with the blood pressure.